today I want to do sort of an elective video here on the cryptocurrencies. I'm going to go back from 2015 and walk all the way forward and look at the whole history of Bitcoin dominance, when you should be holding altcoins, when you should have been holding Bitcoin, and when you should have been holding fiat currency. And then I'll explain how the bull market watch spreadsheet helps you see inside Bitcoin dominance so you can tell in a practical way which of the altcoins you should be holding and when you should be getting rid of them. All that and more coming up. In order to make the most of this video, be sure to click on our Discord link in the description down below. Come and join our community. Say hello. We'll update you to a community member status. Now, let's jump in. I want to share some background about how the bull market watch spreadsheet was actually put together. You may know that we go through and we color code all of the markets on Poloniex and Binance, and we average them all out so that we can see how many of them are getting ready to make a bottom formation and turn up on a bull trend. We count them up in our spreadsheet, and then we get specific about which coins are actually in alert status and which ones are in hold status, so that we can slowly build out our cryptocurrency portfolio as the bull market extends, and then fold it up at the right time and get out of altcoins when the bull market finally ends. And I've put this together so that our members get an email each day that shows them or tells them that we have new alerts, and they can go to the spreadsheet and get the details. And none of this stuff is secret. You can see how we have the color coding changing from day to day. We can see the dates where Zcash went from a near fail status into an alert status, and then on January the 14th it was in a hold status and still is right now until I check the charts. And so it's really easy to visually see when we should be getting into a coin and when we should be getting out of it according to the trading plan that comes along with this. The bull market watch is an overall plan so that we can see what's going on with the alts together at the same time. And we can see that on January the 8th, it was a really important day for altcoins in general. And I want to go over to Bitcoin dominance now and take a look at this. We can see here that indeed it was January the 8th when we hit this top in Bitcoin dominance, and Bitcoin dominance has been sliding down. This gets even more important when we can see here that Bitcoin dominance is dropping as Bitcoin prices are rising. This is particularly good for the altcoins. And so in this video, I'm going to focus mostly on this Bitcoin dominance chart. We can see I've got red boxes and green boxes here. The green boxes are every time that Bitcoin dominance is dropping, and the red box is every time Bitcoin dominance is rising and Bitcoin price in the blue in the background is dropping. So if Bitcoin dominance is rising and Bitcoin price is dropping, that's when we should be in fiat coin. If Bitcoin dominance is dropping, anytime Bitcoin dominance is dropping, we should be holding altcoins. It's much better if Bitcoin dominance is dropping and Bitcoin prices are rising. And we'll learn more about that here. But what I want to do in this video is pull all the way back and let's go through some history and see how this has played out over time so that we get some more appreciation of the significance of what we're facing here, the opportunities right in front of us here today. So when I started out trading cryptocurrencies, or started out with Bitcoin, it was December of 2014. So January 2015 is when I first started playing around. And you can see here that Bitcoin dominance was rising, which means that altcoins were going down in value against Bitcoin. At the same time, Bitcoin prices were dropping through this period, so that it was one of the early phases of time where it was a good idea to be out of Bitcoin and just be holding fiat currency. But of course, I didn't know that at the time. Then we have the good fortune of Bitcoin prices going up and Bitcoin dominance dropping, which means that altcoins are going up really, really fast against Bitcoin. And I recall this in the summer of 2015. I was at a friend's place and I told him that day I turned 50 cents into $5 this week. And he goes, "Woo, you can buy me a beer." But he didn't get it. I 10 timesed my money. So in this year, I started out with like $15 in Bitcoin, and I slowly earned some, and I slowly made some tips, and I slowly started to trade it and to double it. And by the May of 2015, I was up to about $500 in Bitcoin. As we can see here, Bitcoin dominance is rising, so this is not the time to be holding altcoins. Altcoins are getting crushed against the price of Bitcoin as Bitcoin is going up in this parabolic move. And we've seen that happen in the recent past. We'll get into that here as we zoom forward in time. But as Bitcoin topped out and started to come back, through this period of time, we can see that the Bitcoin dominance made a top formation. The exponential moving averages crossed over on the 12-hour time frame. This is our main trading signal when we look at the altcoins, just by looking at the exponential moving averages. So we can see here that this was altcoin season. It was good. Even though Bitcoin prices were dropping, altcoins were doing good. Bitcoin prices went up and they went steady for a while. Altcoins did really well through this period. And by May of 2016, my trading account went from $500 over here to $5,000. I had 10 times my account again. But I still didn't understand Bitcoin dominance and what it meant compared to the price of altcoins and Bitcoin. And so through this period of time, I was still trading my altcoins and trading Bitcoin, and I wasn't being very successful with it. Not much was really changing through this period of time. And where are we now? August 2016. Yeah, it was a struggle of a year all the way through this. I did a good trade in Bitcoin. It really went up well. Felt like a genius because I had purchased in here at about $250, sold out at this top formation at $750. Everything all came down here. It was a fantastic profit and I really felt great on it. Then, as we can see here, I was holding mostly altcoins and not knowing that Bitcoin dominance rising means that my alts are going down in value. And I should have been holding Bitcoin because Bitcoin is going up. So through this period of time, I should not have been holding altcoins. But as we can see, Bitcoin dominance made a top formation just as Bitcoin did a blow off top and started to crash down. So some of that Bitcoin money was sliding over into the altcoins through this period of time here. Then Bitcoin, what is this, January 2017, it made its run up here until early March of 2017. And this is when altcoin season started to take off. Bitcoin made a top formation. It started to show some softness and the alts started to take off here. So we can see that this is March of 2017 as we drag this along. Altcoins consolidated as Bitcoin consolidated. And as Bitcoin started to go up, Bitcoin dominance dropped even more, which means that altcoins were going up and Bitcoin was going up. And so we had some unbelievable profits in the altcoins through this period of time. By this time, my account was at about $10,000 US. And through this period, it went to about $150,000 right here at this point. And of course, I was elated and was waiting for the altcoins to make their second wave up. I thought they were just beginning the big bull trend and wasn't paying attention to Bitcoin dominance changing this way. So from July of 2017 until December of 2017, I held my alts, especially through periods like this when it looked like they were just about to consolidate and go the other direction. But they broke down further, and you can see the exponential moving averages crossing. It was time to get out of the altcoins and just be in Bitcoin. Now I call this my $500,000 mistake because from this period of time until, let's move on now. I'll get to the rest of that story. So here I'm holding my alts. They're going up in US dollar value because Bitcoin is going up so much, but they're going down in value versus Bitcoin. So I'm sweating. I'm addicted to altcoins. I can't get away from the charts. And then from about this point of time in November, the alts were making a phenomenal bottom formation right here. They looked like they were finally going to be taking off, but they got hammered even more right here. So the point I was talking about here is the alts were making this potential bottom formation here in November, and they got hammered back and they made a new bottom formation right here. This was a really demoralizing time for my altcoin holds. But then they turned around, and by the time we got up to this top formation here, and I was actually taking big profits and selling a bunch of coins because of this top formation, my account was over $535,000. And that was the peak of my altcoin holdings at that time. So through this period of time here, I call it my $500,000 mistake, even though by the time we got to here, my account went from $10,000 up to $150,000, and then to here, it was at $530,000 because of the way the Bitcoin price went up. If I had sold all of my alts right here and only held Bitcoin, my money would have been up to 1.2 million at that time. And so I call this my $500,000 mistake, not really understanding what Bitcoin dominance meant to Bitcoin. And so, of course, I wanted to not make that mistake again, and I started to really study Bitcoin dominance. So as we're going through this chart now, we can see this was a period of time where Bitcoin price is dropping and Bitcoin dominance is rising. So when Bitcoin dominance is rising, that means it's growing in percentage market share than compared to alts. The alts are shrinking in market share when Bitcoin dominance is rising. So if Bitcoin price is dropping and it's growing in market share, the alts are dropping even faster than Bitcoin, and it's time to be in fiat currency. So as we drag this chart along, there was another bit of a bull run here. The alts did make a bit of a run up. Bitcoin went up, and we did have a little bit of profits there, but pretty much not much of anything there. And then as we go through this period of time, we can see that Bitcoin was in that sideways range and then dropping. And overall, from this period all the way until we get down to here, it was a good idea to just not be in altcoins at all and just to be in fiat currency. So to know these overall averages is really important, especially as we're coming up to what the charts are telling us now. From December of 2019 until the end of March 2019, we did have a little bit of a bull run, and some of the altcoins did some fantastic gains, a couple 100% up to 300% gains on some of those coins. So now we're into altcoin crush season again, where Bitcoin dominance is rising and all of the alts are losing value against Bitcoin. They're going down in value against Bitcoin. And it was interesting to me at that time, we were doing the bull market watch study and we were doing the color coding daily, and we could see in our charts exactly when things were building up and unfolding. So I can go back to the Poloniex charts and go back in the dates. And from times like this, we could see which coins were actually the ones to get into first. They gave us notice where some other coins never gave us notice to get into them. And so I was able to start to see that overall Bitcoin dominance gives us the market average of all of the altcoins. But if we were to split out that data, we would get a bell curve of some coins that are performing really well and other coins that are not performing well. And then there's, the average. And so by doing this, we are able to see that which day we should be getting in and which coins we should be getting into to slowly build out our portfolio. And the system kicks us out on the 4-hour EMA crosses and the 12-hour EMA crosses. And so it gets us out of these trades if the bull market isn't strong. We can see here in September, it got us into a couple, but then it got us back out, got us back into them and said, get back out. So every time it gave us the potential to get in, we were there for it, for whichever coins. But then as the market proved that it wasn't a bull market, we were able to decommission our portfolio as time went along. So here we are looking at our September and November data, where in September we had some of those coins pulling up into alert status, into hold status, but then they pulled back and we got exit status notifications. Then the coins came up and almost looked like they were doing it again. Now we're into a stance where Bitcoin dominance is finishing this big top formation. Our exponential moving averages have crossed over, and at the same time, Bitcoin prices are rising. So this is like the best of all of the historical times of getting into altcoins, because Bitcoin dominance is rising, because we've come up to this big historical top formation that matches old support and resistance levels. Given the fact that the altcoins do offer something different and unique than Bitcoin, and that the political sphere in the world is changing about altcoins and cryptocurrencies in general, there are more regulations in place. The institutions are able to invest in them now. There's on-ramps in different ways all around the world for people to put their money into cryptocurrencies. It just seems like a good time to be starting to take some risk into it, and to do it methodically, so that you're getting into the coins you should be getting into and getting out of them when you should be getting out of them without too much thought. So the best thing about this is that I'll show you more data of what's pulled out here today. So today we have 11 new hold status coins on Binance. That means we could go to the charts and review these against the trading plan to see if there's something we could fit into. We would be purchasing a little bit of each of these coins that it says to go into hold status, and then we would watch on each of those coins for when we should be unfolding it. And tomorrow there may be a couple more hold statuses from the 29 in total alerts that we have. 11 of these are new, but 29 is the total altogether. So as these 29 convert into hold status day by day, we'll slowly build out our portfolio. And then later, should they start to decommission and start to pull back, we'll know because we get the exit status and we can start to unfold our portfolio as the bull market unwinds. So we don't know how long it'll go. We'll just keep holding it until it crosses over and kicks us out. So if you're interested in this kind of data and you want to be involved in our bull market watch spreadsheet, there is nothing else out there like this. It is designed to make it easy to understand what's going on with Bitcoin dominance and put it to use in a practical way. So this is great theory, but when we get the bull market watch spreadsheet and we combine it with the free training that you can get, you can learn the 5 stages of the trade. You can learn the trading plan that we use in the bull market watch spreadsheet. This isn't a fuzzy sales video. This is an actual workshop. So you will have to get ready to learn things and practice these things. Then you could make your own spreadsheet. Really, you could manage it all. But if you want to save that time and have us update this for you every single day so that you can just log in and see which coins are switching over into which different status, there's nothing else out there like it. Be sure to head over to the website, IntroToCryptos.ca, and check out what we offer. And if the bull market watch is interesting to you, you'll probably be really interested in our pro alert system too. Thanks so much for tuning in to my brief history of Bitcoin dominance. I appreciate having you here. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button. But more than that, come and join us over on our Discord chat. The conversation continues, and we have some really great traders over there that can provide some extra insight for you guys. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.